welcome to this 7 p.m. edition of the news. We begin with our headlines. The Minister of Territorial Administration has banned the activities of the Association 10 Millions de Nordistes all over the country. Some 12 ex-fighters have dropped their arms in the southwest region and have been reintegrated into the Disarmament, Demobilization and Reintegration Center of the southwest region. A Cameroonian national has showed interest by being a candidate in the Burkina Faso parliamentary elections. This is what we had for our titles. See you for these developments. Good evening once more and welcome to the development of the 7 p.m. English newscast. Some 12 repentant Ambazonian fighters and their weapons have been presented to the administrative authorities in Boya, chief town of the southwest region. The fighters, who were grouped as guerrilla fighters operating in the Wabane and Alu subdivision in the Lebialem division, southwest region, were taken to the governor's office by the senior divisional officer William Ekema yesterday, November 18, 2020. Amongst the weapons presented included dozens of guns of different nature and iron bars. Before being presented to Governor Bernard Okalabilai, the ex-combatants were taken to the Disarmament, Demobilization and Reintegration Center in the southwest region, where they were disarmed and dressed in the DDR t-shirt. While congratulating them for the good decision, the Secretary General at the DDR Regional Center promised the fighters security and a quick reintegration into the society. His address did not end without calling on other fighters to drop their weapons and get integrated into the society. The Minister of Territorial Administration, Paul Atanganji, has banned the movement of 10 Millions de Nordistes of Gibai Gotama, stating that the movement is illustrated by publications seriously undermining national unity and the peaceful coexistence between the different national communities. Sandrine Dumbe in this report.
Prohibits any activity, publication, meeting and any demonstration initiated or supported by movement called 10 Millions de Nordistes, any related group or pursuing a similar goal, or by any other person claiming violators of this measure, underlines the Minister of Territorial Administration, are liable to legal proceedings in accordance with legislation in force. That same Wednesday, MINAD issued a statement in which it condemned the activities carried out by the above-mentioned movement, whose spokesperson is journalist Gubai Gatama. The movement regrets the head of the Territorial Command is illustrated by publications seriously undermining national unity and peaceful coexistence between the different national communities. The member of the government informs that 10 million Nordistes has no legal existence. Created in June 2020 by Mr. Gubai Gatama, this movement aims to defend the interests of nationals of the three north regions of Cameroon, namely Adamawa, the north and the far north. He recently distinguished himself by asking for the cancellation of the results of the 2020 edition of the entrance examination to ENAM National School of Administration and Magistracy on the pretext that the said results do not respect the quotas in regional equilibrium terms.
That report from Sandrine Dumbe brings us to at least 7 people have died in a protest in the capital Kampala and other urban areas in Uganda after the arrest of presidential candidate Robert Kigulayi, popularly known as Bobby Wine, during an election rally yesterday, November 18, 2020. Details coming up next. The presidential candidate was arrested during election rally and was accused of staging election campaign that hosted more than 200 people, larger than the number recommended by the Electoral Commission as a coronavirus prevention measure. According to police in the capital Kampala, the death toll from Wednesday protest has risen to 7, with more than 40 injured after a sporadic protest broke out with fans calling for his immediate release. Campaign events for several opposition candidates have been broken up as retired Army Generals Mugisha Muntu and Henry Tumunkunde demands that police end violence against candidates and the public. Foreign bodies, including the United States, has condemned the violence that gripped the country, while urging all parties involved in the act of violence to renounce violence and undertake good faith measures to reduce tension. Presidential candidate Mugisha Muntu has suspended campaigns onto other opposition candidates who were arrested on Wednesday are released. Aside Robert Kyagulanyi, police also arrested Patrick Amuriete separately during his campaign. Opposition Muntu asked the government not to be reckless during the campaign period as the situation was volatile. The two are being detained in the eastern district of Luka, with videos and photos circulating on social media showing people covered in blood, some seemingly unresponsive, noted to have apparently been shot dead. Uganda will hold presidential elections in January, and so far campaigns have been marked by police violently enforcing COVID-19 pandemic restrictions. In the Burkina Faso elections, Cameroon Apolline Gakam has joined the political arena of his wife Monique Yelin-Kam, who is candidate for the presidential elections scheduled for Sunday, November 22nd, 2020. Sandrine Doumbé still in this report.
Pente will defend the colors of the movement pour la renaissance du Burkina. It is this party which is also presenting his Burkinabe wife Monique Yelin-Kam in the next presidential election. Apolline Gakam is an entrepreneur in the education sector. It has the higher private technical institute elite class. He runs Time Burkina, a consulting firm. His academic career culminated in a PhD in marketing from the South Pacific Vocational University, headquartered in Fiji. The one who presents himself as a teacher, researcher, and writer. Several books, including Christian Marketing, Fundamental Christian Marketing, Evangelical Perspective, and Christian Marketing Management, are owned to the Secretary General of the African Council for Political and Strategic Marketing. In 2017, he suggested to the authorities of Burkina Faso the creation of a Ministry of Marketing. The Burkinabe legislative candidate has other hats. He is the first manager of the Pan-African Television Office, Vox Africa, opened in 2018 in Ouagadougou. He is also known as an audiovisual producer.
Report from Sandrine Doumbé brings us to the end of the English newscast. Stay tuned for the 8 p.m. edition with Thierry Nyope. Thanks for listening and thanks for staying with us today. And tomorrow, 7 p.m., I will be back. Good evening.